In my restless dreams, I see that game. Silent Hill. You promised me to tell me everything about this game someday, but you never did. Well, you have the making of now, in your special DVD, just waiting for you.
James.
This is where Silent Hill 2 was created, here in Tokyo, somewhere on the 42nd floor of these buildings. Counting the graphics designers, programmers and musicians, over 50 people worked for nearly 2 years on this project. But Silent Hill 2 would not have come to light without these three: Imamura, the producer, Sato, in charge of designing the characters and cinematic visuals, and Yamaoka, who created the sound and music. All three are very ingenious, but they say it's like being married, because they all worked together on the first Silent Hill. But for Silent Hill 2 they've gone much further, because Silent Hill 2 is a lot more than just a horror game, more a terrible love story.
Anyway? What do you mean, anyway? You don't sound very happy to see
Every
me.
detail of the game is conceived to shake you up mentally and emotionally.
I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
This is the artistry of these alchemists of the emotions. Backgrounds in Silent Hill are based on a concept of simultaneous repulsion and attraction. That's one way to define their impact. Strangely enough, they look nasty and disgust us, but also they have their own kind of charm, which is just the effect that the art director was trying to achieve, of course.
嫌なんだけども、その場にいたくないんだけども、なんか興味をそそられてしまうっていうか、そのさっきも言いましたけど、その異様な感じですか。
Before creating the images for these grim visual backgrounds, Tsuboyama went to shoot a few stills. It may sound odd, but these stills are perhaps the most important images of all. The bathroom was the very first room modelled by the art director. This was the first image created for the visual background. In a way, it served as the graphics Bible for creating the other visual backgrounds. It's no accident if the players start the game indoors.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
A different rationale applied to the exterior visual backgrounds. The idea was to give the impression that the city is larger than you'd imagined. Certain sequences that might seem overlong were inserted deliberately to convey a feeling of isolation.
まず最初のその展望台から森までは、一度その街に着いたら引き返せないような距離を出すことによって、その孤独感とか不安感とか、その隔離された街に来てしまったっていう感じとかっていうのを出したかったんで、 ゲーム的にはかなり危険で挑戦してみた部分ではあるんですけど、わざとあれだけの距離を。
In addition, they used a grainy filter to dirty the images while giving them character. Here's what Silent Hill 2 would have looked like if its creators had not used this ingenious process. Always trying to take us by surprise, the graphics designers had fun planting a few disturbing elements throughout the game that go unnoticed at first. For instance, there's that body in front of the television. You don't realise it, but you know that face.
ジェームスなんですよ、あそこは。あの死体は実はジェームスが作り出したジェームスなんで、逆に見せちゃいけない。
Another image from James's brain. That dress on the tailor's dummy, holding the flashlight. You've seen that dress before. It's Mary's. All of these mysterious details come together to form a visual background ideal for conveying impressions of solitude, suggesting a parallel dimension, the perfect substrate for showcasing such elaborate and ambiguous characters. Of course, it's James, the hero of Silent Hill 2, but just like in the first Silent Hill, the main character does not have the key role.
Mary?
Maria is a fascinating woman who epitomizes the ambiguity of Silent Hill 2.
I don't look like a ghost, do I?
Disturbing and sometimes looks cute. And there's no specific model of her.
With her disturbing ambivalence, the Maria character has much more appeal than other heroines.
Don't ever leave me alone. You're supposed to take care of me. So...
For example, the one of Final Fantasy the movie.
Yeah.
Sato explains why.
She ran away.
But the main girl character doesn't have a wrinkle and doesn't have a kind of a bad point. She is kind of perfect. For example, if you are attracted by some woman, she's not perfect. If you take her pictures, sometimes her face is like that. It's not perfect, but if always she's perfect, I guess you want love her. You are in love with her because she's human. She has character. That character has a bad point. Of course, bad point and good point. They didn't make that, but it's more real than Silent Hill 2nd. From visual or technique point of view. But I think I made more realistic work.
Do I look like your girlfriend?
No.
So Maria is a woman who has her weak points, but takes full responsibility for them. She flaunts her tummy with a little roll of flab.
Your face, your voice, just your hair and clothes are different.
Doesn't try to conceal the brown spots on her skin. Cheats with respect to some parts of the body.
I think she is a brunette. She's not blonde. She dyed, red, and she dyed, she bleached.
These details make her seem very real, a woman with appeal. Sato explains, actually Maria was sexier when we first started out, but her plunging neckline gave us too many technical problems and we weren't happy with the way the graphics looked. A body like that isn't much without a lively, expressive face. So Sato threw himself into his work on this part of the animation.
I tried to act sexy in front of a mirror and, just open half the eyes and move the, under lip sexier like that. In the office. That was perfect.
As a matter of fact, to obtain better results in face animation, Sato did not resort to motion capture.
I couldn't trust the face motion capture. That motion capture system took just the position of the skin. If you open the mouth, muscles around here is tightened, but a motion capture cannot capture it. But if I make them in front of mirror, I can notice it. I can capture it. That's most biggest reason.
By doing the animation by hand, you can combine dozens of expressions and come up with just the right one, even the most absurd. On the other hand, motion capture was used for the body sequences. In other words, these motions were carefully thought out, or rather, carefully observed. The actress playing Maria struck poses that would turn the head of any red-blooded male player. The animators simply had to transpose these sexy poses.
Cut.
For the finishing touch, all they needed was a voice that would bring the face to life. Between 50 and 60 people from Japan and the United States were auditioned, and only 5 of them were hired. By the way, the same persons who made the motion capture.
What do you mean, anyway? You don't sound very happy to see me. I was almost killed back there.
Killing a person ain't no...
You must be thinking 5? That's funny. There are 6 characters. That's easy to explain. The same person played Maria and Mary. Once again, it's no accident.
Same polygon structure of a face. Exactly same. A little bit skull shape is different. And Maria can make Mary's face. Mary can make Maria's face. But gimmick of the face, like a skeleton and muscle structure, is a little bit different.
Now, unlike James, Angela is really bizarre. In the game, she's supposed to be 16 or 17. But she doesn't look like a teenager.
It's not, usual teenagers. One has something, I think, and I try to, make her face special, has something inside. Then, that's why I made, these lines, these shadows. She has a kind of a Schwarzenegger mouth, and try to make her face animation a little bit uncomfortable.
Lost?
That makes her look more older.
The design team aimed to make Angela look older and opted for an older voice. The actress playing Angela is about 40.
Oh, it's you! I'm sorry.
Last but not least, there's Eddie. Excuse me. Whose creation was kind of funny. Who, for your information, doesn't know about it. Fortunately, he only borrowed his friend's physical characteristics because Eddie is maybe the most deranged of all. He appears heavy and clumsy due to a number of subtle details.
killed him?
His pupil a little bit wider, opened a little bit wider from another characters. His eye direction is another direction. And his eyes move a little fast compared to other characters. Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Why not? Till now I always let people walk all over me. Just like that stupid dog. He had it coming too.
Eddie?
An in-depth study of human emotions, passionate attention to detail, and perfect casting, there lies the secret of the characters in Silent Hill 2. But the monsters are every bit as ambiguous. The creatures in Silent Hill 2 are not your run-of-the-mill horror game monsters. They have no horns, no tentacles, no supernatural powers. They're monstrous because their shapes suggest deformed human features.
モンスターを、考える上でまず最初にテーマとしたことが人間のパーツをモンスターのどこかに必ず取り入れてでそこからプレイヤーがモンスターを見てできるだけ元は人なんだっていうところを想像させた上でそこでモンスターが人間とはちょっと違う例えば体が折れすぎてしまうとか這いつくばって早く移動するであるとかそういうギャップにしたんで例えば酔っ払ってる人とかは普段とちょっと違う動きとかしますよね。そういう意味ではそれに類する例えばなんかちっちゃい子が頭が大きいからバランス崩して歩くとかそういったのを主に参考に。
But sometimes inspiration strikes when least expected.
あれ実際に腕が入ってるんですけど上からラバーのようなもので包まれて腕が自由の利かないっていうのを表現したんですけどあれは最初にあれを思いついた時はですね知り合いのプログラマーの人が当時僕の席に遊びに来てたんですけど日本のジャージでポッケに手を入れるジャージがあるじゃないですかほっかむについてでそこになんか手入れてこんなことしながらちょっとすみませんノリノリな気分で来たわけですよ。でその動きを見てなんかそこからヒントを得て発想したんですけどね。
Of course, Ito's references were not merely anecdotal. He also drew inspiration from his favourite artist, the Irish painter Francis Bacon, whose tormented features influenced the visual world of Silent Hill. But the most striking and original creation is indisputably the triangle-headed monster. Ito draws with such ease you might think he got the result he wanted straight away. But what he was looking for was a monster with a hidden face. Like that, it was less human and therefore more disturbing. His first idea was this monster. Then he realised that it was nothing but a human in a mask. So then he took the concept further, giving him a head in the shape of a triangle. He explains it this way.
この三角形の痛々しい感じであるとかがまさに裏設定を説明する上で適当な形だったっていう。
Once the monsters had been created, all they needed were a few bizarre, disturbing monster noises and some choice musical sequences. This was a job for the sound designer Yamaoka.
僕が自分でサウンドをクリエイトする時って特にその映画を見たり何かのサウンドを聞いてインスピレーションっていうのは僕はあまりそういうのはないんですね。自分で作りたいと思ってサウンド、ギター持って例えばこう弾いて自分の中で納得するまで時間をかけて作るっていうことですかね。そうですね。きっかけっていうのは特になくて、テーマソングに関して言えば3日間ぐらいずっと家にこうずっとこう弾いていたっていうのはあります。
It's a theme that conveys the melancholy of Silent Hill 2, which, like the game itself, plays with unlikely combinations.
毎回違うよ。普通のゲームっていうのと普通のゲーム、メロディーってサウンドの中でのメロディーっていうのは僕特にその重要視っていうのはある程度は重要なんですけど、特に重要視っていうのはしてなくて、例えば悲しいメロディーに強いリズム、今回のテーマソングだと悲しいメロディーに強いリズムっていうのを僕はすごくそれを今回はテーマに自分で作ってたんですけど、その聞いた人が悲しくなったり楽しくなったりっていうのはというよりもこのサウンドを聞いてその人のメンタル的なところが何かが揺れたりとかっていう何かがこう動くっていうことは僕はそれは求めてちょっとそういうふうな作風にはちょっとしています。
Yamaoka also produced all the sound effects, a total of 50 sounds, not counting the nuances. To prevent repetition, he created hundreds of footstep sounds for the characters. They too break with the sound rules applicable to the horror survival game.
あの辺の、バイオとか僕が思うにはやっぱりより新しいサウンドとかそれ新しいサウンドがいいっていうわけではないんですけど、やっぱりある論理的なフォーマットに乗った例えばクラシカルな編成とかそういう論理的なフォーマットに乗っかったサウンドだと思うんですね。僕はもうそういうのはつまらないと思ってる方なんで、常に新しくて斬新で何が一番その聞き手がとって何が一番こうなんていうんですかね、聞いていて耳から入ってきた聴覚から入ってきたものがどういうふうに刺激になるのかっていうより刺激的なものっていうのを求めてるんで、彼のサウンドは別にそれはそれでいいと思うんですけど、その論理的なフォーマットとノットサウンドと、クリエイトした新しくクリエイトしたサウンドのそこが僕は一番違うと思ってます。
This being said, however, Yamaoka is too good a musician not to know that silence is sometimes the best sound of all.
やっぱりなんですかね、無音サウンドが聞こえてること自体がサウンドが鳴ってるってことが演出だけじゃなくてサウンドが鳴っていないっていう、その前後例えば前がガーッと鳴っててトントンと音が抜けてガッと鳴り出すとか、その鳴っていないっていうこともその一つのサウンドの演出サウンドの仕事だったりと僕は思います。
The audio track of Silent Hill 2, like the graphics and animation, succeeds in creating an oppressive world, mysterious and completely original. But all of these technical exploits should not obscure what makes Silent Hill 2 a work of genius: the fear. Silent Hill had another major strength in that it invented a new type of fear.
役が難しいと思うんですけど、ゾクゾクするというか、不安でしょうがない、わからないと、自分の周りに ちょっと先に何者かいるかもしれない。そこにいるモンスターがそれでどんなやつなのかもわからない。とにかくわからないことっていうのが怖いことだと思いますね。
The creative people pushed their analysis much further. This feeling of psychological terror, specific to Silent Hill 2, was the product of serious brainstorming about the human mind and heart.
Psychological horror has to shake human's heart, deeply. Shaking people's heart deeply means uncover people's core emotion and their core motivation for life. Everybody is thinking and concerning about sex and death every day. And if we want to scare or shake or touch the users or spectators, then we have to think about sex and death deeply. To make like a death scene, somebody died or monsters died, or if we made that kind of scene, we try to mix erotic essence. This is kind of a visual and core concept.
You can see it in these images of dead nurses with their short skirts and low necklines. You can see it in the images of disembodied legs, or in this suggestive scene, Angela's tragedy.
How do you know about that?
And of course Maria's ambiguity, icy cold like death,
I'm not your Mary.
and suddenly sensual.
So, you're Maria?
I am. If you want me to be.
To conclude, let's look at one of the most important scenes in Silent Hill 2, and that's the prison scene.
James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
ここに関しては結構僕自身も個人的に思い入れのあるシーンで、シナリオの段階からシナリオのミーティングから結構僕もここはいろいろアイデアを出してたシーンで、マリア、見た目はマリアなんですけど、なんかちょっと不思議な、ちょっとメアリーっぽい会話をするシーンですよね。それでその辺のユーザーが多分混乱すると思うんですけど、そのマリアなんだけどメアリーなんじゃないかっていうその不思議さっていうのをすごく出したかったシーンですね。
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made.
そうですね、メアリー、初めはメアリーっぽい時は今までは割とマリアはセクシーな態度をとってたわけじゃないですか。でも、セクシーさのないようなポーズを心がけました。
I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
Then we get to the big scene, the one where in the same shot Maria, who was playing at being Mary, becomes Maria again.
I'm not your Mary.
Notice how the sound of her voice becomes more carnal, how her gestures become sensuous again.
I am. If you want me to be.
Never has horror been more poetic. Never has our emotional ambiguity been so skillfully exploited. The creators of Silent Hill are artists, and their game is a work of art. It's as real as this hand touching your face.
I'm real.
So why not take another look at Silent Hill 2?